There comes a moment, after the storm, when you sit in silence and ask yourself, what was that? Not just the pain, not just the heartbreak, but the intention behind it. Because when someone like that hurts you, a narcissist, a manipulator, it is not about a single action. It is not even about the argument, the betrayal, the lie. It is about control. They want more than your pain. They want to rewire your reality. They want to look at you and see the chaos they caused. Your shaking hands, your red eyes, your sleepless nights. They want to know they still matter enough to dismantle your spirit. That is their victory. It is never just about hurting you. It is about owning the emotional space inside you. To see if, with just one look, one message, one act of cruelty, they can bring you to your knees. And for a while, maybe they did. Maybe they had you doubting yourself, explaining your worth, silencing your instincts. Maybe you found yourself lost in their story, instead of writing your own. But listen closely now, because something in you survived that, and that something. That is where your power begins. You see, people like that, they thrive on reaction. They throw grenades of manipulation just to watch what blows up. Your anger, your sadness, your confusion, they collect it like trophies. And when you do not give it to them, when you do not scream, do not cry on cue, do not chase after the apology that never arrives, you become their greatest fear. Because silence, real silence, is not empty. It is full of clarity. It is full of strength. It is full of you, rebuilding yourself quietly, away from their stage. They expected you to crumble, to post cryptic things, to unblock them at midnight, to fight for a connection that only ever fed their ego. But instead, you paused, you breathed, you chose calm. And that breaks them. They cannot stand not being the center, not of your love, not of your hate, not of your healing. And so they spiral, not publicly. No, they keep up appearances. But inside, the cracks begin to spread. You see, narcissists do not fall apart because you exposed them. They fall apart because you stopped performing. They expected a storm. You gave them stillness. They expected chaos. You gave them peace. They expected to be your downfall, and you turned them into a footnote. That silence is not about pretending you were not hurt. Of course you were. What they did was real. The scars are real. But you are not going to hand them a front row seat to your pain. You are not going to rehearse their script. You are not going to dance in the drama they choreographed. You are going to heal, not for them, not to prove anything, but because you deserve it. And in doing so, something shifts. They feel it, deeply, painfully, because now they are stuck with themselves, with the emptiness they tried to fill with your suffering, with the truth they have always run from. Without someone to control, they are nothing. And so they come back, sometimes in words, sometimes in silence, sometimes in little games you almost fall for again. A message, a post, a rumor, a compliment dipped in poison. Do not bite, because what they want is not reconciliation. It is relevance. They want to feel real through your reaction. But you are not here to feed ghosts. You are here to rise. You are here to teach your nervous system that safety does not wear their name anymore. You are here to unlearn the lie that love has to hurt, that connection has to confuse, that walking on eggshells is the same as intimacy. And that strength, it is not loud. It is not explosive. It is quiet. It is measured. It is in your ability to walk away without looking back. It is in sitting across from someone who tried to ruin you and feeling absolutely nothing. No rage, no longing, no hate, just peace. They will say you have changed, that you are cold, that you are not who you used to be. And they are right, because the version of you who tolerated that treatment is gone. The version who explained yourself, begged to be seen, softened yourself into silence just to keep the peace, is transformed. Now, you are not their comfort. You are their consequence. You are the living proof that healing is real, that self-worth does not require explanation, that closure can be chosen. And that kind of transformation, it confuses them more than anything, because they thought they were your ending, but you turned them into your turning point. Now, they stalk your peace. They search for signs that you are still breaking. They scroll through your life, trying to measure your glow, your joy, your growth. And the more you shine, the more it erodes them. So if you are asking what to do when a narcissist hurts you, here it is. You stop making them the center of your pain. You stop trying to make them understand. You stop performing for a stage they built on lies. You start living. You start loving, starting with yourself. You start finding joy in things they could never control. And you start building a life so rooted in truth, they cannot even find the door to manipulate their way back in. Because they did not just want to wound you, they wanted to trap you in a cycle. And you broke the cycle, not with revenge, not with rage, but with resilience, with calm, with clarity. You win by becoming the storm they cannot predict, the silence they cannot decode, the mirror they cannot face. Because that mirror does not reflect who they thought you were. It reflects the truth. They failed. They failed to destroy you. They failed to shrink you. They failed to convince you that you were unlovable. And now, you are not just healing. You are elevated. You are no longer theirs to hurt. You are your own. And that is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you in the next one.